Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Hi, Ashley.
Hello, darling.
I'm so excited. I don't think I've been this excited about a project in some time.
Since what?
Who am I lying? Who am I kidding? Eat a Rivalry.
I was about to say, like, since what? What are we saying was a long time?
I know, not that long now I think about it. But we continue with this hockey romance theme with the hit Prime Video show Off Campus. It came out literally a few weeks ago, May 13th. All 8 episodes rated MA. It is a romance. So here's a quick summary. A college soap based on Elle Kennedy's best-selling book series. The first season of Off Campus follows the unlikely romance between hockey-hating music major Hannah Wells, aka Wellesley, and Briar-U's womanizing star center Garrett Graham as they strike a deal to help each other out. But will their deal unfold as expected? This is the synopsis from Amazon. Here's the cast. Ella Bright as Wellesley, Hannah. Belmont Kamali as Garrett Graham. Mika Abdullah as Allie. Stephen Kellen as Dean DeLaurentis. Jalen Thomas Brooks as John Tucker. Antonio Caparoni as John Logan. And then shout out to the only Black man with lines, Brandon Scott as David. And the showrunner is Louisa Levy. So she's a woman of color, biracial woman. So really, really excited to see her out here doing the damn thing and enjoying all the success. So Rotten Tomatoes, critics gave this show 93%, 88% audience score, and Google users gave this show 97%. It's a pretty solid score there, Ashley. What's your grade for Off Campus?
Oh, so I enjoyed this series. It was a pretty quick binge for me. I think I started it one evening and finished it by the next morning. I think especially with, for me right now, content consumption, I enjoy finding some levity and some light and some romance and all of that, which was a part of this experience. I will say I don't always love this recurring trope of man whore finds geeky girl who falls in love. I don't always love that. I feel like it's pretty cliche, but I think Garrett being more layered was helpful as we really dive in. And also the fact that there's this aspect of multiple things kind of going on with love that will linger with all the star characters for the most part was pretty cute. And I think I told you when we just chatted about it, I feel like all the couples had really great chemistry, which is helpful when you're creating romance and longing and desire. So for all those reasons, I'll give it probably A- B+ territory.
Me being very much on book talk, very much on romance, TikTok. As y'all know, my favorite genres are romance, fantasy. I do like a little bit of thrillers, but you gotta be really good, and I can't figure it out like too soon. And it has happened and it just irks me. Um, but I am a romance connoisseur. Okay. And in my reading, I realized that I thoroughly enjoy hockey romance. Like I don't watch hockey, but when I tell you hockey romances are like one of my favorite, that and of course football, and then soccer, baseball, and basketball. And I say that because there's not a lot of basketball ones like compared to the other. And I think
And we know you didn't love in basketball, which is
well, that's not, I love basketball. So of course I would.
I just mean the if we talk about a romance, the basketball romance
I know.
outside of
But
like what's the one with Omar Epps and Tyra? Oh, I'm blanking. Anyway,
I can't remember it either right now. But shout out to Kennedy Ryan for her and her hoop series, like Long Shot, Block Shot. Those are like two of my favorites. But anyway, I have been wanting to read this series for a long time. And I decided that, okay, so this show is going to come out. Let me just go ahead and read the first book. So I read the book before watching the series. And I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. It's like fresh off the book, going into the series, I'm just laser focused on like, okay, that's not like the book. That's not like it.
yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. And honestly, I felt like I got a chance to actually enjoy it the second time getting ready for the recap, just because I had some time away from the book and I got a chance to appreciate the show for what it is. This is actually a really great book adaptation to series. And I say that because yes, it is not exactly like the book, and that is a-okay, because that book was written back in 2015 and there are some problematic some things up in there that I think they were able to acknowledge in the series and go in a different direction respectfully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the essence and the core moments are there. And honestly, just like Heated Rivalry, it's a really good book adaptation. I think the only thing that's different is literally for Heated Rivalry, all the funny parts, like Ilya is my favorite. Like we all know this. Shout out to Connor Story. It's all Rachel. It is all Rachel. Shout out to I believe his name is Jacob, who was the showrunner for that series. But that was like word for bar from Rachel. But for Off Campus, there's a lot more because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the women behind like Gilmore Girls and things like that are behind this, are part of the series here, and I feel like I got that feel more. It was definitely tugging on the nostalgia of the One Tree Hills and the Gilmore Girls and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying, Ashley, right?
Yeah, those were two shows that I definitely consumed. So,
So
yep.
I had a great time, and so with that, I give it an A. Give it an A. All right. So, spoiler alert. Ashley, one thing about me, one of my favorite romance tropes is fake dating. I just gobble that mess up, and this show did not disappoint. So the whole deal, and honestly, it was giving me major To All the Boys I Loved Before vibes too. It was like borderline undeniable. But I also love that this show did not stray away from, like, this show obviously is made for a younger generation, but they knew that all the millennials were going to be watching. Like, because I don't know, did you see like the different callbacks, like with the walking down the stairs, giving major she's all that vibes, Hannah in her costume, the facing each other over 16 candles reference, but it was a chessboard between Allie and Dean. Did you notice those
I mean, now that
gems?
you're saying it, I think it must have been more subconscious because to me, it's just like it's a recipe. It's a
Yeah,
recipe
yeah,
versus picking up all the nuances. But yeah, it's like let's borrow from all your favorite classics for the recipe, the sauce. Because you think about it, even her outfit's a little legally blonde coded, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So let's talk about it. So as the summary mentioned, we have Hannah. She is a music student. She is hardworking. She has like 3 jobs. She's pretty much, to herself. She does well in school. I think it's really funny that what they decide the first scene of this show to be. So let me get there. We also have Garrett Graham. He is the cocky hockey captain, as you mentioned, man whore. He's also a beloved teammate and friend, very dedicated. He's also a legacy kid. And this meet cute was very, very interesting, actually. The showrunner wanted to show Hannah and Garrett were in each other's orbit before they actually met, with their meet cute. But do you think this meet cute was a cheeky nod to heated rivalry?
I mean, literally cheeky, right? It feels like it. It was a whole thing with Ilya's booty as a part of heated rivalry from that shower scene. So, um, sure, I think it's a callback to that because it's like they couldn't just met in class. I'm pretty sure they have some classes together. But it was also funny because it was kind of like again, she's seemingly more like shyer,
Mm-hmm.
demure, and so she's fully checking this man out butt naked in the shower. So
But naked. And shout out to Belmont, working out. To your point. So what I will say is, um, I thought that was interesting because that did not happen in the books at all. So that's why I'm like, are y'all trying to play up like, okay, y'all like that hockey romance? Come over here. Come over and see what we got going on. You know what I mean?
the gays had their thing. Here you go, girls. Not that
Yes.
everybody didn't enjoy heated rivalry because we did.
We
So
loved I ate that shit up. Okay.
yeah.
And then also shout out to Beaumont, the man that he is. So he has a scar on his stomach because he donated a kidney. He wanted to donate a kidney to one of his good friends, and he could not because they weren't a match. But he decided to give his kidney to a stranger to keep the
Oh,
momentum going, to helping people out. I was like,
that's crazy.
sir, love it. All right. So they actually meet in philosophy class. Hannah aced the test. Garrett, along with his classmates, did not. And he basically walked up to her like, yo, help me out. Let me give you this trademark smile that works on everybody else. And the way she looked at him like, who are you? And aren't you going to ask me what my name is?
He thought he knew it. Why did she try to downplay her academic success to her
That's
friend?
interesting. I think that's a great question. Maybe she didn't want the attention that she ultimately got.
You just talking to your friend. So, um, again, kind of stereotypical. He's a jock. He doesn't get good grades. He needs a tutor. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. I think this is the most interesting deals when it comes to fake dating. Like she's actively trying to get the attention of another guy, and that is Justin, who is, he reminds me of a pirate personally. Like, but broody musician, really talented. And I will say surprisingly sweet. I will give him that. Like, I didn't know how to read him at first. You know what it was? It's like, because this was Garrett's reasoning for Hannah to help him. He's like, guys like what's not available. And so as soon as I'm going to give you attention, he's going to be interested. And
I
to
don't
me,
like
that
that
kind
though.
of, I don't like that either.
That's
It's just
ridiculous.
for to me. So I was just like, what does that mean about Justin? Like, right?
Exactly. This is why you say he was surprisingly sweet. Sir, I shouldn't have to do all this to get your attention. Like, you should
Exactly.
already be interested if you're interested, not just because you see the little star hockey player getting fancy with me.
Getting
So,
fancy. And Garrett, it should be noted that he is notoriously not a relationship guy. So, he knew that
allegedly.
allegedly, he knew that if he was going to shine his light on some girl, it's going to get a lot of attention. She was like, bet, let's go. With the two, there's also, social economic disparity. As I mentioned, Garrett is the son of a hockey legend, so he's privileged. And Hannah, as I mentioned, works very hard, working multiple jobs, working as a music major. And unfortunately, her scholarship was canceled. I'm like, do they be canceling scholarships in the middle of the school year? Like, that's devastating, actually.
It's
um,
crazy, actually.
it's insane. And so basically, she was like, okay, so let me get ready for the showcase. I'll write pop music. So I thought that was really interesting. In one of her jobs during one of the games, she ran into Delaney, who is a guy from her old high school. And she walks away from her post because she lost her nerves because he's no good news. She decides to decompress singing Elton John's The Bitch Is Back. Garrett saw her performance and he was intrigued. What was it about her performance that you felt like, caught Garrett's eye?
I mean, she has a very nice voice. That's one thing. Like,
That's true.
she definitely sounds good, and I think to his point, he was saying at some point that he feels like she loses herself when she's singing. So I think seeing someone do something that they love and also are good at is always attractive. And I think he was able to see her in a different light when he saw her like shine through in this musical moment, just, living her best life and doing something she's very talented at. So that's what I think.
Yeah. And I think it's really interesting because it's like, I feel like when it came to Hannah for Garrett, it's like one of those things where they say if you look for a red car, they start popping up everywhere. I feel like she just started popping up. Like once he sees her, he sees her. And like he's like, what is this chick's name? Asking his teammates, like, who is this girl? And start looking her up on social media, even at the freaking block party. Shout out to Rein Wolf, who is the artist for this block party in episode 1. Also, before I even get to the good stuff at the end of this episode, I really enjoyed their banter, Ashley. Like, I love that she took no shit from him,
Hmm.
and it brought me great joy. What were your thoughts on their banter?
Again, I think they have really, really good chemistry. So I enjoyed it. I think he, again, is used to the ladies falling over him and crushing hard on him and all that stuff. So to have somebody who is not that, for him, is refreshing. Oh, I got to chase you a little bit and, oh, adds a little intrigue.
Yeah. Well, when Hannah crashes out, she crashes out pretty bad. Like every time she talked to Justin, it was painful for me, Ashley. Like,
That's real though. I always look at those videos of like, oh, here's how I talk to somebody I don't like. And then here's how I talk to my crush or whatever. That is so real. That is so valid. You can have the most easy breezy conversations with people you care nothing about. And then when you get around that person who you have the butterflies for, you get tongue tied, you say little goofy stuff, you
When I tell
awkward.
you, when I tell you, Ashley, when I had the biggest crush on a boy, I said not a word to him.
Yeah.
Like I said no words. Like I talked to his siblings, I talked to his friends,
Mm-hmm.
but every time he came around, I was like,
Mm-hmm. People will even like one of the best ways to know if somebody likes you usually is like some lingering eye contact, but you end up getting so awkward. You looking everywhere but they eyes because you again just trying to like whatever physical feelings you're having. You're like, oh my God, I just got to push through this. Yeah, very
and like
real.
sis got her entire shirt sewed, giving what t-shirt concert, and she continues to talk. Like
I mean, she got nice boobs, so what are you gonna do?
oh, shout out to a busty female lead. Bravo. I am so happy because I don't know. It's something certain elements of being seen in these shows means so much to me because I was her in college, okay? And what's so funny in the books, Garrett called her stripper tits.
Wow.
Again, they softened elements from the book for this show.
Wow. Little potty
Oh,
mouth there, Garrett.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And honestly, when I started the book, I was like, oh, this is just a little bit too like broy for me. But then it started getting so much heart. And you'll know why because of the elements of this particular story. Again, who wears Letterman jackets in college though? Like shout out to Garrett for the win. You know what I mean?
I didn't go
Covering up
to a
our
college
Hannah.
that necessarily had like great sports, so I don't know.
Oh, that's a great point. And I
Yeah.
did. We our hockey team and our football team were the big,
Yeah, my
sports.
ex played football at BG.
Oh, what?
Hmm.
We're gonna have an offline conversation because you have
Yeah,
never
he's one of my really good longtime friends. But yeah, we when we dated in
told
college, yeah, he played for the football
me
team.
this. I need
Yeah,
names because I might know this man. Oh
yeah.
my God. Okay. Anyway, Gary for the win. And Hannah's like, okay, let's do it. Let's do this deal. You get the grade, and I get paid, tutor you, and we'll fake date to get this guy.
Was he always playing the long game though? Because he already was starting to catch
So,
feelings.
so that was my question for you, Ashley. It's like when I don't know if I was able to pinpoint exactly when he started getting feelings. I think hanging out at a party, looking somebody up on Instagram, I think it's a good indicator of like the interest has been
Yes.
piqued, right?
Yes, he was already
Um,
started crushing on her. When he looked at her at the little outdoor event, there was like a little halo around her head. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah,
he was vibing.
yeah. Again, I like how like intentional the writing is for this particular show, and it shows up in different moments, different critical moments. So for episode 1 for me in particular, he's like, you're not interested in me and I'm not interested in a relationship. Like he didn't say you're not interested in me and I'm not interested in you. Like I appreciate the female gaze of it all. Like you know what I mean? Like it is not a rejection of you. It is about my preference and my availability when it comes to relationships. So let the games begin. Hannah and Garrett, they work out the logistics of their relationships. She learns about pug bunnies and the fact that they're knocking on this man's door nonstop. Have you ever heard that term before, pug bunnies?
Mm-mm.
No, see, I learned about it courtesy of my love for hockey romances. But I was like, oh, so groupies got names?
Well, I've heard of what is it, Jersey Chasers or something like that. I'm blanking on the
Okay,
exact term. But yeah, I've
yeah,
heard of that, but not. And then there's something for rodeo chicks. There's a specific
buckle bunnies.
Buckle Bunnies. Yes, because what's her name had Buckle Bunny as a
Yeah,
song, right? So I
That
knew
song
there
was
was
also fire.
some language around some of it, but Puck,
Yeah.
would you say Puck Buddy?
Puck bunnies.
Puck Bunnies, that's a new one for me.
Yeah. It's so funny that it's just the small details. Like the first time he kissed her on the cheek and took that picture, he kept that as her screen saver whenever he called her. I just thought that was so cute. She just like, what are you doing? He out here buying coffee for his girl in philosophy class. And again, that was one of the funnier jokes for me too. She's like, I'm lactose intolerant. He's like, just drink it. She's like, am I supposed to fake that? In this episode, we meet Allie and her boyfriend Sean, and she's out here wanting to spice up the relationship. Um, I felt like they were doomed from the beginning, Ashley. How about you?
I wanted to root for Sean. I think Sean is going to make someone a very lovely husband someday. I just think it's college and Allie is not that girl.
I think Ellie thinks she's that girl,
I
but
don't
I
think she
think
does.
you don't think so. I think
No.
I think she likes the idea of Sean,
I think
the
she loves
stability of it,
Sean.
the
I
stability. I mean, the man knows when she's running out of freaking chapstick. Like that's a
yeah,
keeper, you
that's what I'm saying.
know?
I think she loves Sean. I think you can meet exceptional people. It doesn't mean that you are compatible romantically. And so I think Sean is lovely and he's going to be a great husband, just not for Allie. Because Allie is not that girl. Like, Allie is not just trying to be living in the suburbs, couple kids, a dog, and a picket white fence. That's not Allie.
Cannot believe he got himself a drama major and expects her to move to Vermont
This is
because
what
his
I'm
dad
saying.
has an insurance company. Like
This is what I'm saying. This
that
ain't the
makes no
woman.
sense.
This ain't the woman for you. This ain't the man for you, baby. It's all right. We
He
had a
looked
great little thing.
terrified. He looked terrified also when she was like, "Let's try this position." He was like, "Huh? What?" And got hurt when she was like, "Oh, boring."
He said, I can put a pillow under your butt. You liked that,
You like that last time.
baby. Allie got the rest of her life to be in missionary. She's trying to live.
God.
She's trying to live. It's funny because I just had this conversation with my mom about Felicity. Y'all know I've talked about it. Felicity is one of my all-time
That's your
favorite shows.
show.
But
Yes.
as I evolve, I tend to start looking at it in a different lens. That's why I love to repeat watch stuff.
Okay.
And I'm at the point now where I'm like, Ben and Noel were cool. I love Ben down. That's number one. Always will be number one. But Felicity should have got her swerve on more. She was in college.
Yeah.
She should have been living her best life. Like, especially sophomore year when Ben breaks up with her and Noel was done with her. Girl, forget a haircut. Go get you some men. You are young. You are hot. Go get you some men out there.
Mindset is so important. She probably was not in that mind frame, right?
Put Felicity in 2026, she would be.
Yeah.
We're talking about
That's true.
1999.
I know. Oh my
So I
goodness.
think Allie, I think her and Sean got together when they got to college. It was great. She loves him. He loves her. But I don't think they needed to go the distance, personally.
Mm,
I don't
I hear
want
you.
for Jada and Will. I don't wish for Jada and Will on anyone. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure this out early that we are incompatible
Wow.
and live our best lives.
So the big event in this episode is Bo and Dean's 22nd birthday party. It's a costume party, which I think is really interesting because in the books, Garrett hates Halloween. So I think it was interesting that they were like, yeah, we still want people to dress up. So
Who hates Halloween?
we'll get there. And so I was like, when I first saw a preview to it, I'm like, why are they dressed up? Garrett hates Halloween. Like, this doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's Dean and Bo's party. And Of course, as I mentioned, we get Hannah walking down the stairs and her she's all that moment. And Garrett is like, again, the eyes are twinkling. Okay. It's giving, I see you now, right? I had no idea what that man was for the longest time. I had to Google. Did you know what he was?
Mm-mm.
So everybody's like, oh, he's not a vampire. He's not a vampire. So Hannah was a bunny. He was the magician.
Oh,
Exactly. Exactly. And
maybe he should have been carrying like a bunny or something. I don't know.
or
It
a
just,
hat, a top hat would have been nice or
yeah,
something.
something.
I was so confused. I was like, I don't get it.
Hmm.
Um, but of course, they used the party to
Oh,
hard launch their
she was the
relationship.
bunny.
Yes. But I'm saying, where's the hat, right? The
No, I'm
bunny out
saying
the
because
hat.
I was saying maybe he should have been carrying a bunny. I'm forgetting she was the
Oh,
bunny. Totally forgot. She's the bunny. Anyway.
I thought it was really cute. He was like, "You totally nailed boy hot." I just thought that was hilarious. But we get glimpses into Hannah and her past trauma. She's like, "I don't drink open drinks." I think this whole storyline, like, it just seems okay. So I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw it, the show with the cast of characters, I'm like, are we always laughing and dapping each other up in college? Like, I don't think that's a thing, is it? Like, it's giving cheesy for me, right?
Yeah, no, probably not.
It was a lot. I felt like it was aggressively, like everybody's doing the let's dap it up, we're bros, let's drink beer, like, you know what I mean?
But they are
But
frat house energy.
it
So
was it was very much that. But like, again, rewatching it, it became borderline a comfort show because like I really enjoyed the show so much.
and you know what
uh
I will say too, and not to derail you, what you were going to mention, but I love that all of them were capable in some way. Like I love one of them was a
yes,
cook, one of them
yes,
was a
Mr.
fixer in
Fixer.
the
Yeah, shout
house.
out
I
to
was like,
Logan. Yes,
I love
Tucker's
that
the
y'all
cook.
like are useful,
Yeah,
quite
right.
useful.
Y'all weren't like some messy
Yeah,
frat boys because I've been into some messy boy rooms. Oh my gosh, college. Woo!
yeah.
Horror show, horror. Okay. It really taps into serious conversations. Like I remember having my mom having conversations with me before going to college. She's like, if you sit your drink down, do not pick that back up. Go get you another one, or
Hmm.
put your name on your stuff, or like it just things like that. And again, the thing that I personally do enjoy what I like to call the rake to simp pipeline. TM, I'm going to trademark that. I do not like the disparity between like a hoe and a virgin necessarily, but it's the, oh, you know, oh, I don't need anybody. Women are, they love me. I don't love them. But then when they zone in hard and they
Yeah.
fall hard. And
I think
I
I just
love
hate
the
the
obsession.
disparity. I'm sorry. Please finish your thought.
No, I'm done.
I think I just hate the disparity usually between, to your point, not necessarily virginal, but it's usually like, I don't do that. I'm about this. I'm focused on this. Yeah, I've seen you fucking suck all these other chicks and whatever. And then, yeah, now it's my turn. And now you love me. And I'm that deal. I'm the difference. And that's bullshit. And so it just like
Yeah.
annoys me because I think it
Okay.
sets up false narratives for people. And then I also think it's like very patriarchal to think that men can
Very.
get out here and fuck around and do what they want, but there's still a great prize to get.
Yes.
But if
That's
it
a
was the
great point.
opposite, would that
Ooh,
energy be reciprocated?
that's true.
Like if he had busted in on her going down on a dude, would he still be like, yo, I'm ready. I'm ready for you, Hannah.
Ashley, Ashley, when he put on his sweats and started talking to her in her face, I was like, I would have been like, if you don't get out my face
With
with
that
that woman's
pussy
juices.
breath.
Exactly.
I said the same
I
thing.
was like, girls are online, like, oh my goodness, he's so hot. You see him. No, get out my face with that breath. No, thank you.
This is what I'm saying. And let's be for real. In real life, he's not gonna be clean. So that's another thing. Like, stop playing with me, y'all. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Oh my goodness. Well, finishing up this episode, Garrett again finds her something to drink. Shout out to Logan, who has a crush on his friend's fake girlfriend. Did you peep that, Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, that's Hannah. You know, Hannah. I mean, he
Yeah.
clearly had seen her and noticing her and liked her. So
Yeah.
why he
Yeah.
didn't ever pew pew shoot his shot is on him.
Right. But he's Mr. Fix It. And he's the hard worker trope, right? Like small town guy trying to make it out of his circumstances. His mother deals with substance abuse. His sibling Jules is there, part of Fifth Line, which is also something brand new for the show. And part of their hard launch for this party is to convince Jules that they're together because, again, Jules is responsible for the social media of, the star players on the team.
How very gossip girl.
Very. So, of course, cute blushing lines like, oh, now you blush. Now we're going to pretend to go to bed to make Justin jealous. And you have the one bed trope. So this is a trope that's very famous in romance novels. And I sometimes love it and I sometimes hate it. But this is the very first time where people decide to sleep on the floor.
Yeah. The last time I feel like I really paid attention to this was in The Proposal. But you're right, Sandra slept in the bed.
Love that movie. If I wasn't feeling salty towards Ryan Reynolds right now, I would have definitely recapped that movie by now because it's actually one of my favorites. Again, another fake dating.
I mean, we already did While You Were Sleeping, which had so many elements that The Proposal later did again.
We didn't do While You Were Sleeping.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yes, we did. I'm thinking Sleepless in Seattle. And I did freaking While You Were Sleeping.
Like, am I going nuts? We just did that one that long
ago. You said a 90s rom-com and I went straight to Tom Hanks. I don't know. Anyway.
That's fair.
Them sleeping on the floor had me cracking up, but I thought it was so sweet that they made their way on the bed. And I don't know what it is about these stories, but I think it's so cute when you do get a male whore who is falling for the unconventional girl or whatever, where he like genuinely loves being with her and goes to sleep with her without sleeping with her. Like, I think something about that makes their connection like more genuine, in my personal opinion. And I just think it's cute. And again, Garrett is peeping Justin like, I know my pretentious pretentious douches. He was like, you're having a hard time with the song? Ask Justin. That's a great way to get his attention. Episode 3, the orgasm. This had me freaking out because Hannah and Justin are playing on this piano, playing Janelle Monáe's That's Just the Way You Make Me Feel. And I'm like, they're making out? I was tricked. Were you, Ashley?
I knew this was someone's dream. For some reason, I was thinking that it was going to end up being Justin's dream. And I was like, oh, so he's, we're seeing more glimpses of him feeling her now. So that's what I thought was about to happen based off of that. But the time will come.
Well, I think it's really significant. And we're finally getting to the core of Hannah and her past trauma. It's unfortunately, she suffered sexual assault. Trigger warning, she was raped by Delaney, the hockey player from her hometown. And one of her dilemmas is that since the assault in high school, she has not been able to orgasm with a partner. I am all for the development of like her friendship with Garrett and again her finding ways to get with Justin. But I'm not gonna lie, Ashley, I thought it was interesting that she felt like she could ask this man for an orgasm. And it's like, oh, as a friend, to help me lower the stakes so I can sleep with another man. That's where I was like, I don't think I have the audacity personally.
I think that at this point it was like, who are we kidding?
What do you mean?
Who are we kidding? Ain't nobody just friends over here. Who are we kidding?
And the way he was like, yeah, I'll help you as a friend. But the way she was like, oh, you've helped many, 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 many women. So I'm just this one more.
You know what? This is probably what happened with Amanda and Wes, right? This is it right here.
Don't do this. Don't do this, Ashley. I refuse.
Yeah, I think for me, it was like, I think we're playing games, you know, girl, you don't like Justin. You like Garrett.
That's what I'm saying. So it's worth noting that they had karaoke night at, I believe it's called Malone's, the diner bar place where she works. Again, Garrett is asking her to hang out with him and his buddies after a game because she was free. And then he insisted, and I thought this was really sweet too, though. This is what we call golden retriever in the book world too. Garrett is a big golden retriever, which means like very, very happy and willing and lovable, like please love me type archetype. He was like, she's like, oh, I don't drink. And he's like, I want you to drink. I want you to have a good time. I'll be your, designated driver. And like, he was like, oh, we can find your favorite drink. And she drank pina coladas. It was very sweet. Very, very sweet. And then it was also very cheeky that she decides to sing Sweet Cherry Pie to him, because that was the song he was singing when he was doing his thing with the random girl that was in the house.
She wasn't random though. That's another thing. He was consistently sleeping with that girl.
No, not Zoe. Zoe was the random girl. Because you remember.
Oh, I was thinking it was that same girl. I didn't remember it was a different girl.
It was like Kendall or something like that. I think that was her name.
Got it.
Yeah. But again, it's like, if you're all fake dating, I know you were stressed out because she was spending time with Justin. But it's like, sir, what are we doing? And no wonder she was pissed off at him too. It was like, aren't we keeping up this facade?
Open relationship.
Yeah. And then Allie out here breaking up with her boyfriend, telling the world about it. And Dean is like, word? What's happening?
I'm sorry to all the fans. I didn't.
Say your piece. You didn't what, Ashley?
The actor who's portraying Dean does not move me. Sorry to this man.
The girlies are losing it on social media over that man.
He ain't moved.
Is it because he's a fake blonde, or
I don't know. I'm also not a big fan of men without facial hair, and so it hits hard. A lot of these dudes not having beards. You know, they look.
Well, we are college. Oh,
I get it, but I don't. That's why I don't love it. Like, y'all ain't moving me with these hairless faces. So that's probably part of it too. I like good facial hair.
Now, to be fair,
like a good beard.
Garrett looks, Belmont in real life. He looks wonderful with like a 5 o'clock shadow, and I say that because that's one of the things I wanted us to talk about too. There's been a lot of conversations about the casting of the show. So I do feel like Garrett and Hannah have wonderful chemistry. However, again, did they do this for the millennials? The men on this show, the team, they're 28 years old, 28, 26. The youngest is Tucker. He's 24. That's Jalen. He's also on The Pit. Shout out to The Pit on HBO.
So is Allie.
And yes. But Hannah's 19 years old. And granted, this is also Prime. So it's not HBO and it's not Netflix. But there was obviously a 4 titty minimum because we saw some boobies. We
Yeah.
didn't see her boobies. Now they were hanging out in all her outfits. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Allie showed her. She's 26 though.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think about that? Because some people are saying this plays into the patriarchy with, older men with younger women, like that imagery. Do you
mhm.
agree with that? Or do you feel like they were purposely casting grown men for these roles because they knew the women was going to be lusting off after them?
I mean, I think there's definitely relevance to it. It's not a non-factor in my mind, but I guess as long as the cast felt good about it, 19 is legal. It's fine.
But it's so
It's
young.
very young, but I don't want to take this opportunity from her
True.
because
I
of
thought she
that.
did great too.
She did do great. I think is a star in the show. She did a
Yes.
fantastic job. But there's definitely relevance to a damn near 10-year age gap with her leading man in this series. Absolutely. Especially because this will be a continuation of a series and these dudes are already old as fuck. So they gonna be playing 21 year olds when they smooth in their 30s,
I know.
which is the norm. Like even back, like I loved not Princess Diaries, Vampire Diaries and stuff like that. Stefan and Damon and them, they played them characters. They was like 36. So
Well, it's so
yeah.
funny because I was thinking more of a recent example of a young female lead in a sexual role. And I was thinking about India in Queen Charlotte, but Queen Charlotte wasn't as explicit as like Bridgerton, in my personal opinion. And to be fair, Queen Charlotte, like Hannah, they're the age that person is
Really
supposed to
is.
be.
Hmm.
So I don't know, like
I
I
love
because
Queen
I
Charlotte. I can't
oh,
say a word. I still watch it
but
religiously.
Corey isn't 10 years older than India either,
And let's
though.
be clear too, Corey is my favorite, if I'm honest, leading
Out
man
of
from all of them.
Bridgerton
Yes.
over Jonathan?
Yes, Corey
What?
is my
You
favorite.
are the bane of my existence.
I know
But
that's your
again,
that's your fave.
but
Corey
no, 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 no. He's
is
like,
my
I cannot
favorite.
breathe when you're not with me.
Corey is
I
my fave.
loved you the moment I saw you. Of course I love you. Do you love me? Oh my God. Anyway, but again, the sex scenes weren't as sexy in Queen Charlotte compared to like Bridgerton. So that's why I was like, well, maybe it was milder or what have you. But yeah, so Garrett says, yeah, I'll help you. Again, a lot of important things happen in this series that I think is one very aspirational and hopefully can guide the younger generation. Garrett went to Dean was like, yo, there's this girl who wants me to help her out. What do I do? And Dean, being the playboy of the group, he gave him some sage advice. He pretty much
He
was
did.
like, first of all, oh, she might not come, and Garrett was like, oh, that's not an option. He was like, respect. And then he was like, the single most important thing is trust. And I was like, bravo. Again, shout out to women who write men. And then he was like, don't skip out on the foreplay, 5 play, 6 play. Make sure she's comfortable. Like,
Honey.
what did you think about this scene, Ashley?
I mean, enough said. Like, absolutely. If only, maybe there are some dudes who are really like this. Good for y'all. But
One can hope.
the fact that Dean was out here getting his swerve on, but doing it well
I know.
is beautiful.
It
Like if I had not been rooting for him to do his thing up until then, he won me over with that statement because I was like, at least the women who are coming to you have full consent and are having a pleasurable experience. Who can ask for anything more? when it comes to the relationship they might have with you. Who could ask for anything more,
Well,
D?
when I tell you, Ashley, I'm flabbergasted of how women encountered these hoes and not reach the mountaintop. I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
Because
is
you
it
think
is it
about
that
so much of people's the perception around people's sexual experiences is male focused. It's focused on the man getting off. It's focused on the
yes.
man's desire for the woman. And
Yes.
being chosen by a man in that way. So
Mm.
even porn, typically male gaze.
Yep, that's true. That's true. And it's very like rough and fast.
There is porn by women for women, just FYI, if
Yes,
you guys have never
there
seen it and
is.
experienced it.
Yep. Yep. I remember seeing a woman director talk about that. She's like, nope, this is from the female gaze.
Mm-hmm.
So Hannah shows up to Garrett's house in her freakum dress, okay, borrowed by Allie.
Body was
And
out.
I was like, what is she doing?
She looked so
doing?
Uncomfortable. That's the
I
thing.
know.
Like
That's what
if
I'm
she had
saying.
showed up, I would have been like,
Yep.
get it, girl. But I'm like,
Right.
you don't need this ain't you.
This ain't you. It's not you. And he was like, let me get you a t-shirt. Again, this whole scene was so sweet because he was like, one, he got her comfortable. They started doing, the rat-a-tat-tat. And she was like, what if I'm broken? He was like, you're not broken, Wilsey. And he was like, do you do it for yourself? She's like, yeah, I do it for myself all the time. It's good. He was like, show me.
I had to leave. I had to step on out. This is when I let y'all do y'all thing and I go ahead and depart the scene.
So what I love about this scene is that it's not overly explicit because it's still Prime, you know what I mean? But that build up that tension of him saying, show me and I'll show you. And then when they were in the moment, he was like, stay with me. I loved it. I loved it. They lost me though with the toe curls, though. That was hilarious to me. I was like, y'all, this is corny. Nothing else, Ashley. I know you hate sex scenes.
I do.
I know you do.
And it's not even, I want to be clear, it's not even hate. It's I'm uncomfortable. Like, I don't need to be a part of this. Let me go ahead. I'm going to let y'all do y'all thing. Like, I go ahead and just turn my head. Y'all go ahead and do
You
y'all
ain't got
thing.
no problems
Call
with
me
I'm
back
good with
in.
buttons.
Well, I mean, sometimes they get me. It depends on the atmosphere. And like I said, Corey is my fave. So like his approach, and there were still even times with Queen Charlotte though, where I'd be like, all right, y'all go ahead and do that. I'll be back in my mind. But for the
Wait,
most
what day
part,
was it? He was like, is it Wednesday or what day?
odd days and even
Odd
days.
days, yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, it's so some sex scenes these days are just so intimate that it's like, yo, I understand y'all probably had an intimacy coordinator, there's stuff covering stuff, but like I don't want to like
How
this
did
is
you
so intimate.
survive heated rivalry?
I didn't. I didn't watch all them sex scenes. I didn't.
So much.
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing about heated rivalry is like I keep telling people, I'm like, okay, it's a lot in the beginning, but it's worth it towards the end.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Honestly, with heated rivalry, I was like, I was more curious about logistics and things.
Yeah, I mean it's so much. I told you too. I think it's like I feel so I consume so much content. So it's like
Yes.
it becomes overkill for my brain to constantly see all this same stuff. Like I love a demure handhold now because it's like, oh, refreshing, you know?
Girl, it's so funny that you say that because I was thinking about my hidden gems and how everybody's again getting excited about off campus and their tension and they're kissing. And I'm like, I'm out here watching K dramas and I'm squealing when the guy like bends down to give the girl her shoe or something like that. Like you might get one kiss out of like 16 episodes. Like, but the
Mm-hmm.
buildup is so worth it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, he's secretly like, again, more acts of service like Sean. He's like, I know you're running out of lip gloss. Went to the store, got you something like that. Like K dramas are really like notorious for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, even stuff like think about the Notebook. That build up to them finally having a physical relationship felt so well earned by the time we got to that
yes,
point in the movie that even
yes.
Allie is like, yo, this is what I've been missing. Let's do it
Yeah, no, that's
again.
true.
You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
Whereas now it's just like it's so much.
It is. It is. She achieves her goal and they have a great time. They go to drunk Shakespeare because Garrett realized like he likes her. He's like all that practice talking about her, and his friend was like, "Dude, you like her." And he was like, "Fuck yeah, I do." And I'm glad that he didn't have that whole like, "Oh no, I don't." Like, you know what I mean? I'm glad he was like, "Yeah, that's what it is." And you know, he's in his feelings. I love my favorite Shakespearean play is Midsummer's A Night Dream. Like it is my favorite. And so the fact that they played that up in the series was so cute. What did you think about Garrett's striptease?
When was his striptease?
During Drunken Shakespeare. And he was,
Oh, the dance and all of that. I
yeah,
was like, when did he take off his clothes again?
he did
Um,
towards the
I
end.
thought it was fun. Like, I think
Yeah.
I just enjoyed that whole setup because I just
Yeah, it was
thought it was
cute.
like a fun little timeout from the general storyline to just like insert, like a little bit more drama because now it's like a square between Garrett, the other chick he was messing with, Hannah, Justin, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so it was just kind of fun, whimsical. You had Allie crashing out. Like it was just, it was almost like a scene if we were back in like a high school film where it was like a high school stage production and you got all this stuff going on behind the scenes with, the cast and I like that's the vibe and I like kind of that we're in the story but we're removed from it a little bit and doing something that's outside of the norm for our characters. So I thought
Yeah.
it was fun.
It was so funny because his dance was so uncomfortable, and the actor Belmont was like, "Yeah, Garrett had to seem uncomfortable, but he's like, then I started coming out because I don't have a problem doing this." And then and that's the progression you kind of see in the show when he freaking takes off his shirt. But shout out to Belmont. Let's talk about how we had context clues that he has the black girlfriend effect. Okay. He does have a black girlfriend in real life, or she's mixed or what have you, but
She's black.
she's black. Sir Garrett was wearing Tim's. Like, did you notice that?
No, I did not.
And the dancing. Once he started dancing, I was like, oh, Sir got rhythm. Okay, we said what we're working with.
That
And
would be
then
my worst nightmare to
to
put
be
me up on
what,
that stage and being forced to dance publicly. That would be my worst
you know, I would do
nightmare.
it. I would be like nervous, but I'm very good at like if I'm in public like that, I'll be like, fuck it, let's just do it.
Give me a couple shots and then I got y'all. If I got to do that sober, get out of here. That's awful.
And shout out to him again and his girlfriend. Shout out to her. I hope, you know, these rabid fans, okay, are they like to come in droves. And so we rooting for you, girl, just like Sierra.
There
Just
was a hater on one of them posts you sent me about them where the chick had the audacity to call his girlfriend a six. And somebody said it perfectly. They said, if she's a six, you are dust.
I didn't see that. I saw overwhelmingly positive, but then the
Girl.
thing that had me cracking up, I'm like, oh, he might like black girls. Is he did a BuzzFeed test with Ella, and they're like, "Who's your celebrity crush?" And he was like, "SZA." I'm like, "Okay,
Flat out.
sir, there's a trend. We love those who love us." Okay, so
Exactly. He's doing what Justin Timberlake pretended to do.
exactly. Justin was afraid. That's what he was. But yeah, the end of the Drunken Shakespeare, they pretty much did the big breakup. Like, you got the grade, you got the guy, we should go our separate ways. But ultimately, she does this big gesture and they decide to be together. Episode 5, Cold Turkey. This montage of them having a bunch of sex to this song called Bed on Fire. First of all, I'm obsessed with the song. It is by GFlip, who is girl from Netflix, Chriselle's wife in real life. The song is so good. But Hannah out here having all types of orgasms. So bravo to her. Garrett is obsessed, and we love that as well. We have family tension now. Okay. Hannah isn't going back home to Indiana because of the backlash of her assault, unfortunately. And Garrett hates his father. And so up until this point, we had no idea like the tension between Garrett and his father. Did you have any inkling what it could be? Did you think it had anything to do with like the pressures of living up to his father's legacy, or what was your inkling?
I just thought he was an asshole, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was another case of probably successful, arrogant, dickhead, never satisfied type of dad. No idea. I mean, they gave them some big dramas.
Girl, huge.
And you
know what's so funny? In the book, she doesn't even say sexual assault. She says rape in like the first page. Mm-hmm. So the big thing about Hannah, because it's different when you're in the book because you're in their brains. Hannah had not really been attracted to anyone. Justin was the first person that kind of got her hackles up again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's cute. He's talented. He's in my philosophy class. I think I like him. What do I do with this information post this traumatic event that happened to me in high school? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I think it's really interesting that the writer starts off right off the bat with that. But I do appreciate how they did not do that for us in the show, because you got a chance to like unlayer the onion of it all. Garrett's character, again, very bro-y in the book, to the point where I'm like, again, he calls her stripper tits. Like, it's like, okay, what am I going to do with this? And then you realize, like, at the heart of everything, this golden retriever personality is covering up childhood trauma. And it is abuse from his father, both he and his mother experienced in his childhood. And in the book, the reason why he hates Halloween was the first time his father put hands on him. So he grew up seeing his father, this man praised for his prowess of hockey, abusing his beloved mom, who is dead, unfortunately, same in the show. So he's holding on to her memory. And then the first time his father put hands on him was on Halloween. So he hates Halloween. So it was rough. And so they go to Thanksgiving. He asks Hannah to go. Of course, it's tense, but it seemed to be going well until they see that his new fiance has bruises on her. I think they did a good job uncovering what was going on with Garrett and his father. Because again, I was like, what angle are they going to go? The angle of the book? Like, I started questioning it because I'm like, what is this thing, right?
I hated that it was Van, because that's my dude from Reba.
So many people say that. They're like, you want millennials to watch the show, but we love him. Why are you putting him in this role?
My guy. And not even, I mean, beloved from Van, but also he's beloved from Shameless. So
yes,
like, yes, it's tough.
But he did well, and I thought they looked compatible, like father son. Like I could see it.
He's still kind of youngish looking to me.
I thought so
So,
too.
yeah.
But it also doesn't help that we know that again, Belmont is like freaking 28 years old. So
Hmm. Hmm.
but yeah, Hannah is Garrett's anchor throughout the ordeal, and they leave and then have like random sandwiches at the bar. The big to do was at the house, Tucker making dinner for everyone. And he's such a mother hen when it comes to, making sure things are together. I loved how Logan was like right there with him. I don't know. What did you think about the house scene between Logan, Jules, and Tucker? A bunch of people started showing up. Like, we heard you were making turkey, and then he was supposed to fry the turkey, but it was wet.
Yeah, that was sad, especially because there was so much effort and intention that was originally put into it. But I mean, it's college. What are you gonna do? I feel like those type of things always end in disaster when college kids try to do like their own little potluck get-togethers and stuff like that.
It reminds me of like the times I always went home for the most part, but there was like a couple of holidays during my college journey that you stayed home, and it was nice to find like community and like try to bring a little bit of home to like a group setting, like a potluck. So, episode 6, The Breakaway. This, like a lot of recent shows, decided to go in a different route and focus on Ellie and Dean's relationship. And I shouldn't even call it a relationship because all they're doing is fucking,
Hmm.
So
There was some talking.
was there? We know that Dean is wealthy.
Very.
Um
Not just
very
wealthy, like
right.
rich.
Rich, rich. I mean, they were at his family's vacation home in Cape Cod for his 22nd birthday, right? Like,
And it's funny because up until then, I knew Garrett was rich. I ain't know Dean was rich. Who else
right.
is rich?
Right. But if you think about it, it makes sense that like a top hockey school is going to have wealthy kids on it because hockey is an expensive sport.
I
It's
get it.
pricey.
I just didn't know
No,
until
no.
the
Yeah.
house, and I was like, oh damn,
Yeah.
okay,
That house. And I
y'all
like how
rich.
Kelly called him out. He's just like, what's the rest of this tour? Okay. Like what is this thing that you're doing here?
You were asking about like the callbacks of stuff. This was the one scene where I was like, this is crazy stupid love. This is the scene
Ooh.
where Ryan Gosling brings Emma Stone back to the house and she's like, all right, what is it? What's your big move? That's
Mm.
that. And he says, I get work dirty dancing into the conversation and then I do the big move. And I was like, that's what this is.
Oh, I love that call out. I love
Yep.
that movie. I forget it. We should recap that.
I
We
have it
should
on
do that.
DVD. So
Um, but yeah, Allie is just out here being living free. Okay. So free that, at first they were just gonna do it over the holidays, her trip to New York, but it somehow made it back to Briar U, and the way that she opened up that door to see Sean, I really didn't like this scene. She was so upset that Sean found out she was sleeping with somebody else. They were broken up. She said it was final. I don't understand. What's the problem?
yeah, but those breakup and makeup cyclical relationships, I get why his feelings would still be hurt. Because he still ain't take her serious.
That's true. He called it the 5X Valley. He knew her down, packed. Shout out to her red set lingerie though. That was really cute. We also have the fundraiser. Tensions rise against, between Logan and Garrett. Logan is like, yo, we need fundraisers. I know the importance of this. I know it's like
He
to
overstepped.
need this.
He
And
overstepped. He pissed me off, actually.
because Garrett was like, why did you? I told you no. And you went to talk to my dad anyway behind my back.
We would have had a big falling out because actually in my mind, I shouldn't have had to be forced to tell you any realities I may not have yet been ready to tell you. If I, as your friend, said, I don't want to do this, why was that not respected?
Enough. Yeah, that's real.
Overstepped.
But I'm surprised Garrett didn't take the time to tell anybody. But Hannah, do you think he
That's
should
his
have told?
business. No, it's his bit. That is that man's business to decide how and when and if he wants to share that with anyone. So,
Okay.
no.
Justin decides to play Yellow Haze at this fundraiser. And Hannah was like, nah. What is a yellow haze, Ashley? What does it mean? I don't know what it means. It gets the people going.
I felt him though on like, I am a singer, I'm a musician. I want to put my art out there. I want to get the crowd's reaction. You ain't gonna never feel like any of this stuff is ready. You just want to criticize. Deuces.
So my deal with her is she literally did just give him the pen and was like, please write this song for me in so many words. And I'm like, you haven't said anything. You haven't provided, like, it was giving him doing all the work in the group project. And he was like, I wanted to do it, so I did. I wasn't upset at him. I was upset at her and all her blinking whenever she was confronted with something she did not. Oh, and this episode ends because she finds out that the big game that Garrett is playing against her abuser, Delaney. Episode 7. All right, so this is the episode for me, Ashley. So much stuff happens. Garrett is having a shit game, okay? Delaney is kicking his ass. Hannah is MIA because she's having a panic attack, ignoring everybody's phone calls, ignoring Garrett. You could tell that he's trying to focus his aggression because, like, he was also confronted by his father and the fiance. He told her to leave, and she was like, I'm going to stand by this man. Again, Hannah is out here ignoring everybody, floating around, runs into her mentor, and we have a magical Negro moment. I'm going to need Black people to have lines in season 2. Okay. Did you notice that, Ashley? It felt just very, it's not, where were the Black girls? Hannah ain't got no Black friends?
No.
Well, she got the one man,
the gay dude.
Yes.
Point is, what I didn't like, I didn't even think about that, the magical Negro moment. What I didn't like is it felt so abrupt. I was like, I get that you're going through a lot in this moment, but like to say you're gonna quit the program and do all this stuff, like, this is so abrupt.
Right.
Take a breath.
Yes.
Let's circle back. Like, you're making major life decisions on very, very important but potentially temporary emotions at this very moment. So let's go back to your room and take a beat.
Right. So her mentor essentially tells her, like, hey, stick with people who make you smile, stick with people who love you. You know what I mean? Don't worry about the negative. And so she took that and decided to show up to the rink and see Garrett. Ashley, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I swore Garrett was going to yell at her and be like, why weren't you picking up the phone? This is an important game for me. Where were you? It was giving Tyra a little bit at the end right there. When this man was like, I was worried about you. Why didn't you pick up the phone? Have I been conditioned? Like I don't know this life.
You don't know this in your fiction, you mean. You know this life.
Well, of course I do
from
know
your husband. This is your life.
Absolutely be like,
you're used to the fiction.
Oh my god! Wait, that happened one time. I made a mistake one time, and I was like fripping out, and I was like, oh my god! And then I was like, Dave, he's not picking up my phone. Like he's so upset at me. Once he got a hold of me, he was like, hey, what's up? I was like, you're not like pissed off? He's like, no, you made a mistake, and I'm like, you're right.
Dave is a sweetheart. So I get it though. In your fiction you consume.
Especially the alpha
Yeah.
football captain hockey
And
aggression.
I mean, honestly, let's be for real. A lot of people's reaction would be that because most people are looking at things from their particular purview of what they need at a particular moment. So you're like, you're not here for me for this big moment that I'm having and what I'm going through and what I'm dealing with,
Yeah,
and not necessarily having that additional emotional layer to say, well, wait, why might this behavior be happening versus it
right.
happened and here's how I feel about it.
That's true. That's true. And again, they were able to work it out. He goes back on the ice. Delaney decides to open up his big mouth because Garrett found his win. You know, he told us previously, Hannah centers him. Okay. And he calls Hannah a lying slut to Garrett's face. The way Garrett looked over to Hannah got confirmation, and without any hesitation, he beat that man's ass. I was like, this is the most exhilarating. I love this scene. And I say that because, again, is it the patriarchy in me? Maybe. But Delaney needed to get his ass beat. And Garrett was like, I got time today.
Yeah, we don't condone violence on the pod, but if you sexually assault someone's girlfriend, best believe if that person finds out, they're going to beat your ass.
Without any hesitation, he threw that stick on the ice.
But I always got to give that disclaimer because, I would love going back to summer house. Some couple people to be getting their ass beat.
Oh, so much is happening in this episode. His father comes up to him and he's proud of him. What?
And that's how you know that's why he felt like, oh, I did the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hannah is appalled. And he was like, you lied to me. You told me you were okay. Don't you trust me? And I was like, ooh, this is such a mature conversation. Like,
She actually, I mean, she's entitled to her feelings, but she actually upset me with her reaction. Because again, just 2 seconds ago, we talked about how you were going through something, and yet Garrett had a lot of emotional empathy for that. And yet he just learned something shocking
major,
in real
life
time,
changing.
had
Yes.
a real normal crash out. And then you look at him like, I can't believe you would do that. And da 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 da. Not to say your emotions are not valid, but again, he just had a very mature emotional reaction to your situation. And you lacked that compassion and grace for him in this moment.
I agree. I have to say though, I did find it very interesting that for her reasoning was every time I tell the truth, people lives are ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, she ain't never lied because Garrett gets suspended. And there was also a part of me, probably shout out to the conditioning of being a millennial, when he was like, get in the car, let's go. I would have been like, okay, you just beat this man's ass for me.
Yeah. And also, to be fair, maybe if Hannah had told that man in advance as to who
Right.
this person was,
Yes.
maybe things would have been different.
It would have been exactly as soon as she found out. I think she should have been like, Delaney on that team is the
Yeah,
one.
like FYI.
Right. because he
Anyway,
felt blindsided.
he was blindsided.
He was like on site.
He
On
was blindsided.
site.
Like, again, what you think was going to happen? What you think was going to happen?
So he breaks up with her. He was like, you scared of me? I don't want to scare you. And again, he's all up in his feelings too. Everybody was at a boiling point at this point of the show.
Everybody's living in their trauma.
Yeah. In real time. But Hannah's conversation with her mom, shout out to like parenting goals in 2026. Okay. She's just rambling on like how everything is ruined and everything is because of what happened to her. And her mom was like, what did you do wrong? You did nothing wrong. You went to a party and had a drink. Don't worry about nothing. It'll all work out. And I thought that was so beautiful, beautifully said. Speaking of ruining lives in episode 8, we get the fallout. Garrett is considered ineligible because he shot around with the Brewers, which to me I thought was weak because he's like, they invited me to the practice. I'm like, if I'm not being paid, I'm not, ineligible. Like, what do you mean I'm an ineligible player? And then because of that, his team has forfeit all the games they won that season that far up to that point. So it was 13 wins, 3 losses and a tie. That's major.
Yeah, that's season ending.
And they were already champions. So this was devastating news, Ashley. And then, of course, we have the showcase. Hannah decides she finds her voice. I did like the angle that they took that, she wasn't able to write because the last time she wrote, unfortunately, was when she had to speak to the events of her trauma. But she finally was able to push past that writer's block and write a song. What did you think about her showcase, Ashley?
Again, I think she has a lovely voice. I'm glad that lyrically it felt like something that was very true to her and the vulnerability she was able to show and having everybody support along the way was lovely.
All right, Ashley. I'm going to close out talking about some major differences from the books compared to the show. One, Gary does lay hands on Delaney, but the father is furious and was like, this girl is a distraction and I'm going to intimidate her to break up with you. So he pretty much intimidates her after the game. They get in a fight and was like, you got to break up with him or he loses all his financial support and he doesn't have a job because his dad is taking care of him. So she breaks up with him. Garrett is confused, but he accepts it. He established on campus the hands-off rule. And he pretty much says, if you talk to her, date her, I'm going to come get you. So that does happen in the books. And he doesn't get in any major trouble for the fight that he has with Delaney because he tells the coach what happens. And that's the reason why he did it. Like, this man sexually assaulted his girlfriend. And so he put hands on him. So he only got a 3-game suspension. And then at the end, they all live happily ever after. So I just thought it was very interesting that one, Garrett was the one that breaks up with Hannah in the show. And I like the reason why, makes sense. You know what I mean? Compared to being like intimidated by the father type of deal. And then two, the most important thing, Garrett doesn't tell Hannah's business in the show. So I thought they did that well. Like, it's her story to tell. It's not his to use and justify. And then 3, his punishment is way harsher than in the show than it was in the books. And I think a lot of that has to do with, wanting them to continue on further seasons and what have you. And so Do you find any of what I mentioned interesting, or do you think it worked out well for the show versus what happened in the book?
I think I preferred the elements that they chose in the show for sure. It felt like it all aligned really well. Like I can't imagine, based off of how especially the father's relationship is portrayed in the show, that any of that would have felt as authentic if they had gone that route, and then him not really facing any consequences. Mm, I mean, maybe they could have gotten away with that probably, but um, I don't know if it would have felt with the existential crisis that Garrett has throughout all of that about his relationship to hockey because of his relationship with his father. I think there was a little bit more weight to it because of how they did it in the show. So,
Yep. Yeah, I think what they did was very smart, especially if we want to continue on with the series. They are very adamant on saying they're not going to be like Bridgerton, and they are going to have a focused couple, but they're going to continue on the stories of the existing couples. So I think that's very promising. Season 2 is supposed to focus on Logan's relationship, which is a second chance romance. The name of that book is called The Mistake, and then actually Dean and Allie's book is book 3, which is The Score, and then Tucker's book is the last book, which I don't know the last book's name offhand right now. But shout out to Amazon because they saw this book talk to series movie pipeline and they're cashing in on it, and when it's done well, it's a lot of fun. And so there's still more to come this year. So every year after, another book, standalone book, is expected June 10th to be on Amazon. Your Fault London, which is based off a series of book called Your Fault. Elle, which is the prequel to Legally Blonde, is coming out July 1st. The Devil's Mouth is coming out in July, and Sterling Point coming out August 5th. There's also obviously existing shows like The Summer I Turned Pretty, Young Sherlock, and the one I'm absolutely, absolutely excited about is The Love Hypothesis. Maxton Hall is also but a romance book turned series. So a lot of good stuff in store, and not to mention fourth wing in development. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. So, all right, Ashley, any final thoughts for Off Campus?
we'll see what happens with the next iterations. I hope they, along with keeping the storylines going, don't wait years in between. So, we'll see.
All right, time for Hidden Gems.
All right, I'm gonna roll through these 'cause I know we're running long. I have four, two of them documentaries, two of them scripted. First one is Boy Band Confidential. My physician actually, first person told me about this. This is produced by Joey Fatone from NSYNC, and it goes into the boy band boom of the late 90s. You have everybody from NSYNC, Backstreet, 98 Degrees, even Boys to Men featured in this with key members of those groups talking. And one of the big parts of it is the situation with Lou, who was the, arbiter of a lot of these groups getting together. You also had, I'm blanking on his name, Johnny, who was the manager for both NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, talking as a part of this. And it was illuminating. I mean, it was definitely a side of their stories that I've never heard, particularly about Lou Pearlman's nature and how he preyed upon these young men. I mean, it was crazy. So check it out. That is on HBO Max. Then my next one is The Crash. You guys probably heard about this one. It's number one, I think, on Netflix right now. It's about the 17-year-old girl who ran into a building at about 100 miles per hour with her boyfriend and one of their friends in the back seat, killed both of them, is in prison. And it's really about litigating and showing what led up to that incident, and then, getting an interview with her post. There's a Netflix doc. It's also featured in a couple other documentaries. Like there's one on Hulu, and I feel like people have very strong opinions about this, which is probably why it's number one. It's very sad, but if you enjoy a true crime documentary, I think this is a really good one to check out. And then my two scripted series. The first one is The Miniature Wife, which is on Peacock. This is starring Elizabeth Banks and Matthew McFadden. You'll know Matthew McFadden if you were a fan of Succession. But this was really goofy. I didn't think I was going to get into this, but it was actually funny, very funny. It's a relationship dramedy. They're a couple who's struggling in their relationship, and Matthew is a scientist. His wife is a very successful novelist. He ends up shrinking her, so it kind of gives you Honey, I Shrunk the Kids vibes. And then it's kind of a battle after that. So a lot of shenanigans ensue. It is funny. It's an enjoyable watch. I want to say it's 8 episodes, between 8 and 10 episodes. And then my final scripted is Margo's Got Money Troubles. That is on Apple TV Plus. This is starring Elle Fanning, Michelle Pfeiffer, Nick Offerman, Nicole Kidman. It's a pretty stacked cast. And as usual, with Apple TV projects, it is fantastically shot. It's a great script. David E. Kelley is actually the creator of this, so it has some juice. I didn't think I was really gonna like it, but it was very endearing. It's about Elle Fanning's character. She ends up getting pregnant and she's trying to figure out what to do for money. She ends up becoming a sex worker, and so it's very much like family, but also a woman coming into her womanhood, trying to figure out what she can do to survive and help her family survive. And like I said, it was actually way more heartwarming than I expected. So that is Margo's Got Money Troubles on Apple TV Plus. And those are my hidden gems for this week. What about you, Delora?
Yes, Ashley, I'm going to go ahead and recommend the actual book, The Deal. um, the story is interesting, the writing is interesting, but at the core of it, it is really heartwarming. And I couldn't remember Tucker's book. His book is called The Goal. So just we have the deal, the mistake, the score, the goal. I also want to highlight Score by Kennedy Ryan. This is her second book in the Hollywood Renaissance series. The first one is Real, which was beautifully written. And Score just came out, and it was really great getting a chance to read her writing. She's one of my favorite authors. I also want to highlight some music from the show. So, as I mentioned, Bed on Fire, GFlip, that has been on repeat since I've watched the series. It gives me so much joy. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, it's a sexy song, but it's a good time. And Cinderella by Rein Wolf. Again, she was the main performer at the block party in episode 1. And the music on the song, the horns, even her voice is just a really good song, well produced, and a great time. So yeah, thank you all so much for listening to this episode, and I hope y'all had a good time.
All right. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, please share this episode out with everybody you know. We appreciate it. We'll be back with more. But in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.